Did Liz Truss really just say yesterday from my home city to ignore Nicola Sturgeon? Now, let's spin this, shall we? I wonder what Liz Truss would say if Nicola Sturgeon had turned around and said, you know what, let's just ignore Westminster. I wonder what would happen. What a hypocrite. And it shows with the reactions of the crowd, not just but the little shout outs. There was even a Trumpian piece of fucking shite in the back shouting, "Build a wall." We got Hadrian's Wall. It's a relic. Leave it alone. But here's another contradiction of the Tory party. Look at Boris. I said this earlier on in another video. He said he calls the Scottish National Party the Scottish Nationalist Party, right? Which is hilarious considering just how many nationalists are Tory members. It's hilarious. And scary. If the Tories somehow still win in the next general election, I might just move. Because at least I'll try. I don't know. This is not good. This is not right. I mean, sure, was she talking about reducing pay for essential workers outside London? Oh no, we're not going to make a divide between North and South anymore. Lying bitch. What is this? Really, what is this? Is this? Do we live in a political parody or something? I don't know. But I don't know. It seems to be. It seems to be in the Tory party. Just in general. I've tried saying this before to other people and they're like, oh no, look at Labour, there's anti-Semitism. Yes, there was anti-Semitism. But it was not portrayed, it was not happening in the way it was portrayed. It's just whether you can accept that or not, it is a fact. It was part of the character assassination for Jeremy Corbyn. Congratulations to everyone who did that. Look where we are. Are we really in a better situation than what we would have been in with Corbyn? This is ridiculous. I mean, if I had to pick out of a pile of turd shit, I'd pick the most polished turd out of a pile of shit. It had to be Tom Tugendhat. But the Tories have moved that far right wing. They are that bad now. I really hope the general public really do start to see the Tory party as the nasty party again. Because it is. It always has been. It never became the friendly party. It just looked like it to get your vote. And people fell for it. I didn't fall for it. It's not me being big about myself. I just didn't. I calling him a liar for years now, and look, level what you want at Starmer, but his ultimate goal is to get Labour into power so that we can do some actual good. If we've got to do things to try and get the Tories out of power that we wouldn't usually have done, that we haven't done so far, and that the further left wing wouldn't approve of, if it's practical, then we'll have to do it, because we tried with Corbyn twice. We're not going to be able to get a left, another lefty in charge, not a real lefty in charge. But I don't think Starmer is a truly dishonest man. He made pledges, he did, believing. I think he believed the pledges he believed at the time. However, it's like people don't seem to think that there's been a huge upheaval politically in the last 2.5 years since the last election. It has. A lot's happened. Priorities have had to change. In an oblique way, it's a similar argument to the Scots with the independents. They bring it back because they were promised in 2014 that they'd be allowed that leaving the Union would mean leaving the EU, and then 2 years later were ripped out of they were forced to leave the EU against their will. The Scots did not. Was it 67% or something? 68% voted to remain. That's a majority. 52% That's a slim majority. And the Brexiteers now think they can ignore the rest of the country that didn't want to leave the EU. This isn't a party for the country. It is a party for the right wing. And I think, in a way, Starmer he does mean what he says when he wants to try to mend the fractures opened by Brexit and the wounds opened by Brexit. And how do you do that when you're just going to continue to ignore when both sides continue to ignore each other? I don't see the logic in that. Liz Truss has no idea what she's doing. I don't think she really does. Like, it's all reactionary. She sees what she's got a bunch of people telling her what the grassroots of the Tory party want. And it's disgusting. There's if I was in power, I'd reform the political system so that a party has to, when doing their hustings, they have to take, so they have to take a proportional amount of votes from the public. Most of the votes can come from the party, but they have to take a proportionate amount of votes from the public. And I think that would have to do with constituencies. So I think that would be a lot more fair, especially considering we're going to talk about the next Prime Minister. Rishi Sunak's almost better, but at least he's not been absolutely ridiculous. It seems that the grassroots Tory party are becoming more like the grassroots of the Republican Party in America. It's like the Tory party has been trying to make our political system more like America. Our political discourse more like American. Look at the right wing. All these American style TV programs. A lot of the politics that they push are Republican right wing style politics. That's not British. And yet they claim to be British. These are British policies for Britain. No, they're not. You're taking what your right-wing cousins in America have said and copy-paste with a little bit of Tipex. It's ridiculous. And everyone going along with it are morons. You're actual idiots. I'm calling you out. Everyone that's going along with this bullshit, you are fucking morons. Because, especially if you're on the lower end of the pay spectrum, because they're not going to help you. They will try to soothe your little insecurities whilst taking all of your money and making you poorer. And not just you, your family, your children. This is what the right wing are doing. And it would not be nice to see the Lib Dems in this country try to be a bit more left. They've shown that they can be right wing because they're mostly fucking ex-Tories. But the Liberal Democrats can at least start showing that they are in the centre. They have shown some signs, but it's a bit like people complaining about Starmer for not being too far left. Starmer's more likely to be the next Prime Minister than Ed fucking Davey. I like Ed Davey, he's alright, but it's unlikely he's going to be the next Prime Minister. So what? Again, this is practicality, not idealism. How can being practical lead you to vote Tory? Legitimately. It doesn't make any sense. Unless you're someone who does not care about anyone else. Unless you really don't care how other people try to survive in our society. If you're that kind of person, then I don't know why you're watching me. Do one. Wait, I don't... it's pure ignorance. And it's willful ignorance. I don't care what you believe. I believe what I believe, so you can fuck off. No, see, when it's redirected, that line is redirected at me. I can legitimately turn around and say no, because I've gone and done my own research from an unbiased point of view in the first place. When going through my politics, when trying to decide where I was in terms of politics, I had to take into consideration that, you know, I can't just be biased about all this, because this is where all the vitriol is coming from, and that's not who I am and really want to be. I am a bit... I'll go on a bit of these rants, but that's because it doesn't need to be like this. This isn't necessary. Anyway, this is my view on Liz Truss and the right wing idiocy to do with the Scottish independence. I hope you enjoy my rant. I hope you have a good day. Har an good dag.